Good afternoon, y'all. Well, this isn't really about the weather. This is more of a post Halloween video. I caught a couple anomalies that I've recorded before. I have some past videos named Faces, I believe, and The Shining, to where it shows what I'm about to show you. A long time ago, on this type of radar only, I've seen a few things. One is the pollution in the air, the white that the Orgone has been cleaning, and you can see on this kind of radar only. And the other thing is the shining. Now, I don't really know exactly what it is, but I have a theory. I have a theory that the shining is the ether, and it catches like a glimpse of it before it goes into the earth, because the ether moves around. It's like a living thing, and that's where electricity comes from too, and the astral plane and all kinds of stuff. So first I want to show you these faces that I catch only in this area by Texas, which is coincidental that since I started doing this weather stuff with the Orgone cannons in the sky, I started seeing these projections of faces in the shining stuff, like almost like an MRI or an X-ray, like layers. You could see it like 3D, okay? And you can see some of the other videos where it shows like the one looked like a Mickey Mouse, Mighty Mouse, aliens, all kinds of faces, dogs. So right here, if you look really close at this shining, you can see one big eye right here. That's half of a face right there. You can't see the other side. Sometimes you can't see the whole faces, but you can see perfectly 3D one side of it. See, here's the eye and here's the mouth. It's some kind of an alien, looks like. I'll stop it so you can see it. Right there. There's one eye. This is his right eye. Here's his little nose. Here's his mouth. He looks like he's pissed off. It looks like one of those grays. Okay, his other eye's going to be over here or on the side somewhere, because this is like 3D. And once this disappears, look over here in this area right here, and there's going to be a small little alien face, and you can see both his eyes and his mouth and everything perfectly. Watch. Right here. You see that? It was a skull. I'll stop it so you can see it. There it is. There's one eye, there's the other eye, and here's the mouth area. This one's looking straight. This one's looking on the side over here. Watch. So that's a 2-for-1, and I have it in slow mo so you can see it. This is slow motion. There's one, and here's the other. The second one almost looks like he has a mask on, or a skull. This one right here, almost like a Freddy mask. Weird. And if you notice, this shining stuff, it disappears into the earth. It disappears over here somewhere. It looks like it goes into the earth and down here and it disappears. Here's another angle. See, it disappears right around here. The only thing I can think of that's over there is a bunch of ley lines in this area right here. Whole bunch of ley lines, major ones. And see, this whole area is still clean and dark. This is from the Orgone I've been shooting in the sky, because it's only in this area right here. I usually shoot over here for the hurricanes, and that's why it's permanently etched over here all the way to Africa. And the darker it is, the closer it is to Houston. And this way, I don't usually aim down here, but it's clean anyway. And I don't really aim up here that much, and that's why it's still dirty and it's kind of far. But the rest of the world is choking on this white stuff, which is pollution. All the rest of it, except for this area right here. So, also for this Halloween special, I wanted to tell you a little story. And it's about something most people don't even believe in: voodoo curses. Because I didn't believe in it until they did it to me. And I had to find out little by little what it was and how to get rid of it. And it was pretty scary. It was kind of like Final Destination movie, to where everything was just against you. And then eventually there was insects and there was skin lesions. So I found a shaman, and I just happened to find him on Facebook. He's a 5th generation professional, and that's all he does. He's in a hotel with his wife, and both of them are 5th generational, so they do this for a living. And they have all their stuff in a hotel, and they just stay in hotels and have people. They come over there. They're chiropractors. They do back rubs and stuff like that, and they do cleanings to where they'll reverse curses. And they're not cheap either, but it's real and it works. Because what I had, the doctors couldn't get rid of, and everybody thought I was crazy and I was dying. So this guy with an egg, he told me, bring your own eggs, bring raw brown eggs. So I did, gave them to him, and he prayed, and he prayed to God. He had statues of God everywhere. He's praying to Jesus and God, and he's rubbing this egg on me while he's praying. And then he cracks it open, and he did this like 10 different times, because I saw him like probably 20 times. And every time that he'd crack open that egg, there would be like 17 needles, brand new sewing needles that would come out. And towards the end of it, where he was doing it, like the last probably 2 or 3 times that he did it, like later on, like probably a month later or something, because I went and saw him every weekend. It would come out with blood also. He said it was my blood, and there's no way that the eggs that I gave him, he could have done some kind of trick like that. One time he did it, and he said, rub your hair, and a needle came out of my hair and fell on the ground. So those were from a voodoo doll that whoever did that to me, another witch, did a voodoo death curse on me, and that's like the worst one, to where you die. Takes time, depends, but if you don't fix it in time, you'll die, and they'll take your soul, the demons. And you're no match against demons, because they get you while you sleep. You wake up and you'll have like sores on your face, and like bruises, like black eyes, and like swollen knees and stuff, like they're getting you in while you're asleep in the ether. So it's a lot of detail, but basically these witches go to court in front of God against you, and they find out your sins, and you don't have a representative there because you don't know there is court in the spirit realm, and they show all this evidence to God, and he's like, okay, smite him. So it all goes through God. So you have to, like, it's all on the recipient too. Like me, I had to change my ways on a lot of things. I had to change my whole life because I was wrong in a lot of ways, and I had ego and all kinds of stuff, women, all kinds of problems, drugs, and so it stemmed from that. It latches on to that. But I fixed that, and the shaman fixed the spirit realm to where in the court thing, when they went to court, I didn't have a representative, which was Jesus or God, Jesus. So that's why they used all that evidence against me. So the shaman fixed it to where I had, basically they got rid of my spirit guide somehow with another ritual. That's how they got in. So he put that back, fixed everything, got all my spiritual help, because when I went to go see him, he told me I didn't have any kind of protection on me when I first came in there, and I was looking bad. He said what I had was called gangrene in witchcraft language, and he fixed it that same day when I went home, and he did the egg trick. My eyes were burning for like 2 days straight, just out of nowhere. And he would I'd call him, I'm like, I'd start panicking, and he'd say, spit in your hand and rub it on your hair. And I would do that. It would immediately go away. It would come back later, do it like, throughout the day, like every 30 minutes or an hour for 2 days straight. And that was the curse coming out of me through my eyes. And it took a while. Like I say, it took the hardest part of it was gone within a week or two. But all the residual and scars and everything that it left, because it all cleared up, but it took years. Plus, I had to change everything, my whole life. So anyway, for those of you who don't believe that shit's real, don't piss off a high-powered witch, because you'll find out. And they prey on people that are Christians that don't believe in witchcraft. They prey on those kind of people because they're innocent. Witchcraft can be many different ways too. They don't do it that hard. Usually it's like mind games and try to control you and steal from you and confuse you and shit like that. But these guys, it was different. They paid, whoever did that, they paid somebody over $1,000 to do this curse on me. But it's also one of the easiest to reverse if you know how. You have to do the whole ritual in reverse in a cemetery or something. I didn't ask details, but I had to take a short class on demonology that I didn't want to take because I had to learn all that stuff within a couple of months. My life depended on it. So there you go, Halloween story. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you guys. I'll be back with more from Tales of the Beyond. Smoking Joe Hurricane. Now put that out.